Hi, this is Jason Major from the Big Cinematic Universe, and we're talking about comics book theology today. And today we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Armageddon game number 8. So very quickly, in this storyline, Dimension X and Rat King and this pantheon of villains is trying to bring the end of the world, basically. And you also have the Ninja Turtles, and you have a place called Mutant Town, which obviously Ninja Turtles, they were turtles, not humans, that became humanoid turtles, and then so the mutants is kind of reversed from what X-Men is. So you have mutants who are animals that are mutated to humanoid animals, right? So there's a whole mutant town apparently in New York City. I didn't know this, of different creatures, kind of like an almost underground railroad, so to speak. And they're fighting against the bad guy and supernatural forces, and this is what. So that's all you need to know going into this little thing. So Donatello, which is the one with the staff, he says exactly. It's like that verse in the Bible: "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual weaknesses in high places." That's what we're dealing with here. And then Mike says, "Wait, you read the Bible, dude?" "I read everything, Mikey." So I'm just going to talk briefly about that verse, and not about the comic story itself. And I'm not trying to be cynical or positive. I'm just telling you about what that verse is about, and about in terms of this. Now, obviously, that verse is from the Bible, from Ephesians, and it's talking about wrestling against spiritual powers and against demonic forces and everything. So it's kind of cool that they're using that in context of him fighting against these supernatural powers that are trying to bring about the end of the world. The more interesting thing that I want to talk about briefly is just that the idea that Donatello has read the Bible, I think, is consistent with probably the Donatello in this IDW series, at least, because I haven't read too many of these IDW Ninja Turtles, but also consistent with what I know of Donatello from various comic book adaptions and various comic book series and cartoons, is that Donatello is the most philosophical of them all. Yes, Leonardo has a philosophy, and so does Splinter, being the leader and being a ninja, but it would make sense that Donatello, being the intellectual, would be a reader of everything. So I think it's that, to me, this adds an interesting character dynamic if Donatello has read the Bible. That he would be he would probably have not read the Bible. This is my theory. This is theory, not fact. This does not make Donatello a Christian Ninja Turtle, but this would make Donatello a very philosophical Ninja Turtle that's willing to probably study. He would probably be well versed in studying many religions, actually, especially if he's a ninja, as well as different philosophies, and he probably would be studying a lot of history as well. So I'm just sharing this little teeny video to say that verse, obviously, we know in the Bible is referring to fighting against spiritual powers and principalities. How it's played out in this comic book is in an interesting way, in that it's less to me about the fact that what that verse means, and more the implication of what it has for a character. That it is interesting to add that dynamic of Donatello reading the Bible, and just like in X-Men, you had Nightcrawler reading the Bible because he was Catholic, and that made sense to his character too. So both of those characters make sense. So to me, that's what I just wanted to briefly share, that Donatello reading the Bible in a Ninja Turtle comic. Kind of a fun little thing to find. Until next time, we'll talk about more comic book theology. Take care.